Mix 100.5, the desert's best mix. My name's Mozingo, and coming up on March 4th, the Rhythm Wine and Brews Experience returns to the Empire Polo Fields in Indio. Snoop Dogg, the Expendables, and Pepper are going to be performing live. And right now I've got Yesod on the phone. He is the drummer for Pepper. Yesod, how are you doing this morning?
Aloha, my brother. I'm doing very well. Thanks for the time, you guys. We really appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Thank you for calling in. We're excited to talk to you. So you guys have been together now for roughly 20 years or so, haven't you?
Yes, sir. Just June this year will be 20 years.
June, it's been 20 years. Are you guys doing anything special for your 20-year anniversary?
We're doing a lot of everything. Kind of. We just we re-released our album No Shame, which is 10 years old. So that was kind of the halfway point of our career up until this point. But we re-released a special edition of that came out in January. We've got a new EP that we'll be working on this year as well. We have our first headlining show at the legendary Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado coming up later on this year to commemorate the 20 years. So yeah, we just kind of throwing everything at the wall, and we're so excited about being blessed enough with the most amazing fans in the world to keep this thing going for 20 years. So, you know, we're just basically jumping out of our clothes right now, and anything to celebrate it, we're doing it.
20 years is a long time for a band, especially since you guys have all the original members, correct?
Yeah, the three of us.
You haven't all had one knockdown, drag out fight yet, where you all broke up or walked away.
Yeah, I mean, definitely knockdown, drag out fights, but hey, we're all still here though.
So what do you find different from 20 years ago to now? I mean, I'm sure a lot changed in 20 years, but so what's different as far as the touring and how you guys operate on the day to day?
I think we're the main thing is I think we're just a bit more methodical these days. We're in our 20s, we're just fresh from Hawaii. We'd never really lived away from our parents' house or anything, so we were just kind of like pedal to the metal. Where now we kind of step back and look at things first before we put the pedal to the metal. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to think we've learned a lot more and just learned better ways to do things. And we've learned so many lessons through the 20 years that, it's inevitably, I think our protocol is going to be a bit tighter these days.
So what do you do? What do you do to get ready before a show? The big Rhythm Wine and Brews Experience is coming up on March 4th. You're on tour right now. You were telling me that you are doing about 100 dates a year. What do you do to get ready for the show? Because, I mean, Rhythm Wine and Brews, they've got all of the beer garden, like the beer tents and the wine tents. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. Do you find yourself mingling in the crowd? Do you kind of stay backstage? What's your pre-show ritual?
Yeah, well, it's going to be a little different for the Rhythm Wine and Brews Festival. Normally, my personal one is I'm big on the hippie speedball, which is the nice split of caffeine and cannabis before I go on stage. But for the Rhythm Wine and Brews, it's going to be a little different because we're actually launching our very own signature beer with King Harbor Brewery from Redondo Beach, California. And it's going to be called, or it is called, the 808 Concentrate. And it's going to be I'd say a day drinker IPA. And it's going to be a passion fruit and aloha infused IPA by King Harbor, and that's called the 808 Concentrate. So we'll be out there having some beers with the people of our new brew we have, and we're just so stoked that we've been talking about this about launching this beer with our friends at King Harbor for over a year now, and this festival came up, and it's just an absolute perfect situation. So we couldn't be happier.
Yeah, you
talk about synergy, right?
Yeah, you've piqued my interest on the beer front. I'm a big fan of the IPAs. Is that something that you all had to go through a process to agree on, or was it something that was pitched to you guys? How'd you decide you wanted to make an IPA? Because that's not everyone likes those. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, me personally, and we love IPAs, but there was a little bit of thought that goes into this though, because obviously IPAs are very popular these days, but we're going to be at a festival, and Hawaii Pepper, we're all about the outdoors, we're all about the daytime and whatnot. So we're making it a little a lighter IPA, and it's only going to be about 5 to 5.5%.
So it's a sessionable IPA, so you can actually have one while you're mowing the lawn and not pass out in the front yard.
very sessionable. Thanks for the word, brother. I was looking for that. Yeah, no, it's a very sessionable. So, like you're saying, like not everyone's a big fan of IPA, but I mean, this almost is the lighter little brother of that. So, I think it's going to be really across the board as far as the palates of all the beer drinkers out there.
Awesome. I'm gonna have to come by your booth. Hopefully, I'll get there while you guys are still there, and I can have an IPA with you. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, it's called the 808 concentrate, which, if you don't know, 808's the area code of the state of Hawaii that we're from.
I did not know that. Learn something new every day.
Yes, sir.
So with when you guys are on tour out there, speaking of doing the shows around the country, you always hear bands have these crazy tour riders and these requests on there. Do you guys do any of that just for fun, just to mess with people, or do you need something backstage to feel right before you get out on stage?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the messing with people, we've never really been like those guys. We're more we like pranking the bands that we're on tour with. That's like more our gig. Like, you get towards the end of the tour, and we like doing something fun to your friends that you're out here on tour with. But I have considered throwing something funny on there just to make sure the runners are paying attention. You know what I mean?
That's the old Van Halen green M&M's thing.
No, yeah, not yeah.
You got to make sure that they're reading it line for line.
Exactly, or a framed picture of David Hasselhoff or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's not a pretentious thing. It's just like, hey, just making sure you guys are paying attention. We don't actually want it, but it's a good laugh when you get to it. Yeah.
Speaking of, you say you like pranking the guys you're on tour with. Who have you been on tour with that you've had the most fun with? Like, who have been the guys? Maybe somebody that you've played with, and you went, oh my god, I can't believe we just played with these guys.
Yeah. Well, there's been so many of those skin pinchers, as I like to say. But one of the huge ones for me was when we played a radio festival of Foo Fighters, meeting Dave Grohl. I'm a drummer, growing up in the '90s, and obviously Dave Grohl and drumming that was one of the hugest things for me. We played with so many bands. 311, we grew up listening to them, and we've become such good friends with them to a point where Nick Hexum produced one of our albums. They've been such mentors. And talk about, I talked earlier in this conversation about all the lessons we've learned through mistakes we've made. And, we've been blessed enough to become friends with some of our idols like 311 and even learn lessons from their mistakes that we've seen them make in the past before we've even hooked up with them, and just that whole mentor vibe. But yeah, man, we've been so blessed in this career that we've been able to play. I mean, another one is the studio that we have in Redondo Beach, which is kind of like Pepper's headquarters. It's where we recorded our last album, the Ohana album that we put out in April, and we record other artists that we have on our record label there. That studio was handed down to us from Pennywise.
Oh, wow.
Growing up surfing, they were, I would, when I was 14 years old, I'd put on Pennywise to get amped up to go surf back in Kona when I was growing up. So, all these, like I said, all these in-picture type of instances, we've been so blessed, and there's countless ones that I could just go on forever about. And it's really amazing, man. 20 years has been we're just so grateful.
Is there anybody you're itching to get on stage with you that you haven't had the opportunity to play with just yet? There's probably a ton of them. Actually, you know what? One that we haven't really, which is kind of a new artist, is a guy named Nako and Medicine for the People, which is a band that's going on tour with our friends Revolution this summer. And we've never really got to do anything with them. I would love to share the stage with Ludacris. That'd be a good matchup out there.
Yeah, we're huge hip hop fans, and I think that would be a huge one. And then also a band that recently got back together, who's my all-time favorite band, is Ween, and would love to share the stage with those guys sometime.
Well, you mentioned that you're big fans of hip hop. One last question for you, and then I will let you get going. I appreciate you spending some time. I've got Yesod here from Pepper on the phone. Any chance you and Snoop are collaborating on stage at Rhythm Wine and Brews?
It's so funny, but we're actually just 2 days ago, me and Cleo were talking about we have a song that we want him to be on. It's just all about our camps getting in touch with each other and making it happen. But yeah, it's so funny. Me and Clay were just talking about that. We want to make that happen.
That sounds amazing. I might even call that breaking news that Pepper is working on getting Snoop on stage with them, which would be a fantastic collaboration.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Well, Yesod, I appreciate you taking some time with me. Looking forward to seeing you and the guys at the Rhythm Wine and Brews and trying your new beer out there, which was called 808
Concentrate.
808 Concentrate, which is going to be at the Rhythm Wine and Brews Festival on March 4th. Tickets still available, rwbexp.com. Yesod, thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning.
Right on, you guys. Thank you.